The story of the Aztec Empire doesn't end in 1521. Even after the Spanish conquest, the Nahua people and their traditions continued to shape life in America for centuries. Today, we'll explore the rise of the Aztec Empire, the impact of Spanish invasion, and the continuities and changes that defined Aztec society from 1450 to 1750 CE. Between 1450 and 1520, the Aztec Empire reached the height of its power. Centered in the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan, authority rested in the hands of the Tlatoani, the emperor. The empire expanded through the Triple Alliance, Tenochtitlan, Texcoco, and Tlacopan, using military conquest and a vast tribute system that flowed with cotton, cacao, maize, feathers, and obsidian goods. Markets like Tlatelolco bustled with trade. The Chinampa system, floating gardens, allowed for incredibly efficient agriculture. This was a world of complex engineering, astronomy, and ritual. Everything changed in 1519 when Hernán Cortés and his expedition arrived on the Gulf Coast. Emperor Moctezuma II attempted diplomacy, offering gifts of gold that only fueled Spanish ambition. Indigenous routes of the Aztecs, especially the Tlaxcalans, allied with the Spaniards, seeing a chance to overturn Aztec dominance. By 1521, after siege, warfare, and devastating disease, Tenochtitlan fell, but the story didn't end there. From 1521 to 1750, the region became part of a new colonial world, New Spain. Yet many Aztec systems didn't disappear, they transformed. Local city-state councils, called altpetl, continued to govern their communities. Tribute didn't vanish, it was simply redirected to Spanish viceroys, priests, and encomenderos. Markets still operated, chinampas remained vital farmland, and indigenous nobility often kept their local administrative power, though they lost their military authority. But major changes reshaped life. The Spanish introduced the encomienda and repartimiento labor systems, European livestock, wheat, sugar, and new trade routes that tied Mesoamerica to the global economy. Society shifted into a racial caste hierarchy. Spaniards, criollos, mestizos, and indigenous peoples, all ranked by ancestry. Disease devastated populations, altering community structures forever. Religion underwent dramatic change as Catholicism replaced the Aztec state religion. Temples were torn down and churches rose in their place, yet indigenous beliefs never fully disappeared. Instead, they blended into new forms, like the association of the Virgin of Guadalupe with Tonantzin, an Aztec mother deity. While many codices were destroyed, Nahua scholars and missionaries preserved knowledge in new written forms. Astronomy, agriculture, and herbal medicine continued to thrive, enriched by the meeting of European and indigenous science. Two important windows into this world come from the Florentine Codex, created with input from Nahua scholars and describing Aztec life from their perspective, and the Codex Mendoza, which details tribute-less education and military campaigns for the Spanish crown. Three figures shaped this era. Moctezuma II, whose diplomatic approach influenced the empire's fate during the Spanish arrival. Hernán Cortés, the conquistador who forged alliances and led the campaign that toppled the empire. Malintzin, also known as La Malinche, the Nahua woman who served as interpreter and cultural mediator, symbolizing the complex blending of cultures that followed. From empire to colony, from collapse to cultural resistance, the Aztec people navigated enormous change. Their language, traditions, food, and worldview survived and blended into what we now recognize as the rich cultural fabric of Mexico.